Wow, I think my internet is really slow today. What's up, Rich? What's up, Dan? How's it going, guys? All right, I think we're live now. Wow, I think my internet is... Oh, I should probably turn off my volume over here. How's it going, guys? How's everybody doing today? We have a few things to unbox here. All three of these boxes showed up on my door at the same time at 11 a.m. this morning. I figured, you know what? I have these three boxes, and not only do I have these three amps, two of which are specifically for the channel, but I've got a huge stack of other amps sitting behind me that I have been quietly kind of collecting over the summer, and why not share them with you guys? But that's gonna be up to you. Do you guys just wanna see what's in these boxes, or do you wanna see all the amps that I have basically stacked over the summer while I haven't really been doing demos and recording in order to use for the channel? I'm really curious to see what you guys wanna see from me. So first off, how's everybody doing today? It is absolutely beautiful here in Erie. I've been outside most of the day. I'm having a good day so far, and I'm pumped to basically be back to full-time content creation at the moment. So really excited. Haven't really done a lot of live streams lately either, so I figured I'd take the opportunity to hang out with you guys and see what's going on. But yeah, let's see what's going on in the chat. All right. Peavey Windsor time. I've had the Windsor for a really long time, actually. I will demo it before I sell it, but I have it up for sale as we speak. Not my favorite amp. I've kind of gone over that a few times. I don't love the Peavey Windsor. I know a lot of people kind of say that it's a sleeper amp. I don't necessarily agree with that, but that's my opinion, and it's been a long time since I played one. So yes, there will be a Peavey Windsor coming up. Andy Bungert, what's going on? Maddie Sins, what's up, man? Trenton, if you guys could do me a huge favor, hit the like button. I hate to do, spam that right off the bat, but it really does help. Gets these streams in front of a lot of people. If you guys don't like the stream, then YouTube doesn't really show it to people down the line, and it just kind of dies. So it does help me if you guys hit the like button on this thing. I would really appreciate it. Show all of it. That's what I'm talking about. How's the audio, by the way? Does the audio sound okay? I'm using a different mic than I've ever used on the live stream. It's actually a Rode NTG shotgun mic, and I'm not sure if I have it placed correctly, but my man Fluff sent me this a little while ago, and I haven't really used it much, so I kind of want to start using it, but hopefully it sounds good. So... KSR series, no, but I do have one of those, and I'm definitely going to be doing a demo of it very, very soon. Yeah, video is smooth. I got a brand new camera, so hope that you guys like it. I actually went to hang out with Fluff last night. His band Dragged Under was in Cleveland, which is about an hour and 45 minutes away from me. And I was having trouble getting the camera to look the way that my other cameras do. I got a Sony a7 IV, and I took my camera with him, and he set up all the video settings. So that's one reason why it looks good. So you guys can thank him. That was a really fun time, by the way. Had a good time hanging out with Fluff. It's the first time I've actually met him. Super, super nice dude. Super down to earth. Show all of it. Let's check them all out. More is better. What's in the box? All right. Let's see what you got. Ralph, you may regret putting that statement out there. Cesar Velasquez, how's it going? It's going great, man. I hope I didn't butcher your name too badly. Thanks for being here. Yeah, better view than Facebook. If you guys are watching on Facebook, again, I posted a link on my Facebook page to go over to the YouTube stream, so the audio and video will be much better on YouTube. But if you're just hanging out on Facebook, thanks for hanging out. And I'm getting texts in the middle of this, so yeah, that's another. I wanted to tell you guys real quick also. Something that was pretty disappointing to me happened recently, and it's absolutely nobody's fault but my own. But I hadn't actually told anybody about it, so I figured I would share it with you guys now while you're here, since the chat's going off. But I actually this year was invited to 42 Gear Street, and if you guys aren't familiar with 42 Gear Street, it is hosted by Henning Pauly, and he basically has a bunch of YouTube content creators go over to Europe, to Germany, to his studio, and he has a bunch of brands come out, and all the YouTubers basically get together, get to know each other, get to know the brands, and then make a whole bunch of content over the course of 4 days. And Henning invited me, and I actually had every intention of going. My girlfriend and I were going to make a trip out of going over and traveling a little bit and then going to 42 Gear Street for me to participate in the event, but unfortunately things just didn't work out. I had to cancel pretty late, actually, only about a week and a half before the event, and I was pretty bummed. But Henning was as cool as ever about it. Like, he was bummed, but was super supportive of my reasons. So to be completely honest with you guys, I have a really, really old husky. He's a 16-year-old husky. He is my first dog. He is a complete and total jerk, but I love him to death. So not to be a downer, but his health has been declining recently, and I just didn't want a chance not being here if he passed away when I was gone. And that was the main reason. There were a couple other contributing reasons, but that is essentially why I did not end up going this year. So Henning was super cool about it, man. So Henning, if you ever watch this video, thank you so much. I know I've told you in the messages and everything, but it was really cool of you to not put any pressure on me to try and make me come regardless. Like, he was totally understanding of my reasons for not going. It would have been a really huge opportunity for me. I've been to Europe a couple times with my bands, but it would have been cool to go over and hang out with other YouTubers and just get to meet these brands and kind of grow the channel and learn a lot. Like, I have a lot to learn about YouTube, and pretty much every channel that was over there is way bigger than mine. They've been doing it for much longer. So yeah, I was really, really, really looking forward to it, and it didn't happen. I'm bummed. That was around the same time that I did the video for, recapping losing my job and being a full-time content creator. So I was really bummed for about a week there, just kind of thinking about everything, and then, having to cancel what was the biggest event of my YouTube career. So yeah, I don't know. I just kind of drew a blank. Yeah, it sucked, but I am not going to be down about it because I'm hoping that, Henning will invite me again next year. I will absolutely go next year. I've been talking to Andrew Baena, because he went. We were talking about hanging out while he was there, and he ended up going, said that it was a great time, and you guys are probably going to see a bunch of killer content coming out, branded as the 42 Gear Street. If you've seen the videos from last year, like Glenn Fricker and Christian Cola and a whole bunch of other YouTubers. I think John Brown from Monuments was there, and they had just a ton of cool content come out after the event. So be on the lookout for the 42 Gear Street stuff. But anyways, yeah, figured I would get that out of the way. I feel like I'm kind of recapping with you guys because it's been so long since I really have been fully involved in the channel. I kind of took a big step back over the summer to try and enjoy the nice weather, because the eerie weather is brutal here, man. In the winter, it is really bleak. It is really tough to go outside. So I've literally just been focusing on getting outside and enjoying as much of that as I can. We've been traveling, doing all sorts of fun stuff. So haven't really done much with the channel other than film a few amp demo videos and a few FAQ videos, and that's it. Everything that you guys have been seeing is stuff that I banked for quite a while beforehand, like I said in that video. So I am actually, this week is the first time I'm kind of back to shooting videos every day. And I feel good, man. I feel really good about it. So yeah, with all that out of the way, we can start talking about the amps now. So if you guys hung with me through all of that, I appreciate you. We got 80 people here. That is awesome. That's a good number. Again, if you guys are here, hit that like button for me. It would mean a lot. Again, I'm going to say again a few more times because I am like struggling for words right now. But yeah, if you hit the like button, it massively helps the stream get in front of other people, and it helps me just in general. So thank you. All right, so what did I miss? We got a whole bunch of comments here. Who says drunk? All right. So Bata SSL, what's up? Rich, what is up? A Crate Stealth. I don't know where you're seeing that. I have not done a preamp shootout. I am glad that you guys appreciate my shorts. Thank you, dude. Lenzer, you're always coming in with the super weird comments that just kind of make me smile. And I can't tell if you're just a socially awkward dude or you're trying to troll me or what, but I appreciate it, whatever it is. Yeah, see the dog? Yep, the dogs are kind of chilling right behind me. All right, so... Okay, so I didn't really miss much in the comments besides you guys being doofuses, so I appreciate the humor. Let's go ahead and get to these amps, though. I'm going to... You guys are all saying show them all. I've got 13 amps over here, plus the stuff in the boxes. So we're going to kind of do this like rapid fire style. I'm going to bring them over one at a time, give you a quick spiel about it, and kind of gauge your guys' interests on each of them. So without further ado, here we go. Amp number 1, Peavey 6534 Plus. I am personally really excited about this amp because this is an amp that I got a long time ago, got to try. I sold it basically because it was too similar to the 6505 Plus at the time. This was before I was the insane level of gear hoarder that I am today. This was probably about 5 or 6 years ago that I got the first one, and it was just worth more than the 6505 Plus. So I sold the 6534 Plus. Kind of kicked myself for doing that because it was really hard to track down another one. But here we go, 6534 Plus. What I'm gonna do is after this video, I'm gonna put up a community tab and I'm gonna let you guys vote on what amp that you want to be the next demo. And this will be the demo that I post on Sunday because I have a different video coming out tomorrow. So it'll be my next amp demo. You guys will get to vote. The Peavey 6534 Plus is definitely going to be on the list because I can only put so many amps on there. But this has been a really highly requested amp for me to check out. So I think it only makes sense that it's on the list with maybe 1 or 2 of the other amps that are sitting over here. And then a couple of the other ones are amps that I have actually just had chilling for quite a while and just haven't had a chance to get to them yet. So I just realized that my laptop's in the way, so sorry. I'm a rookie when it comes to this stream stuff, so yeah. What's different from a 6505? It's in the name, my friend. It's in the name. John 3 Lardner, love the content. Your videos help me decide on my first EVH 5153 Stealth. Awesome, dude. Congrats on your first tube amp, and that is a hell of a first tube amp, so congratulations. Glad I could be of service to you in any way, shape, or form. Makes me super happy to hear that whenever people say that. So, all right, we're going to move this out, and we're going to bring the next one in. And I'm going to hit my head off the mic. Next amp, Peavey 3120. I am actually really excited about this one. I have had another 3120 in my possession for quite a while. Plan on doing a demo of it before I sold it. I was not originally planning on keeping this one, but I have owned a bunch of 3120s. I've never owned the USA version, and I just think that they look better. That's the only reason that I care about it being the USA version. The Chinese version that they released, not very many of. They did a small run of them. They have white knobs and white logos, and to me they just look really cheap and loud in a bad way. This one looks more kind of subdued and just meaner. I know it's silly, but that's literally it. Like if the Chinese version looked like this and the American version had all the white crap and print and everything on it, I would keep the Chinese version, just, you know, solely based on aesthetics, because I've tried them all. They sound the same. So yeah, 3120 is just a rebadged Triple X that shipped with EL34 power tubes. If you guys are curious as to what the big deal about it is, and if you guys know me, you know that I love the Peavey Triple X. So we're going to see the 3120 on the channel. I'm going to shoot the 3120 out with my Peavey Triple X just to show you guys they are indeed the same amplifier. So that's amp number 2. Amp number 3, the EVH 5150 6L6 100 watt stealth. I have to thank my man Chris Reardon, aka Amp Guru. If you guys are in the Kemper or Quad Cortex game at all and you are into purchasing, if you're into purchasing packs for Kemper and Quad Cortex of really cool amps, the dude to get them from is Chris. Amp Guru is, again, his name for his business, his packaging, whatever you want to call it, his branding. And he does a great job on the Kemper and Quad Cortex profiles. Of course, I'll have my own profiles coming, but anyways, he is the one who gave me the heads up on the 6L6 Stealth on Guitar Center's website while I was out on vacation in San Francisco. And I've been looking for these amps, for one of these amps, for a really long time. And the prices kind of went from like 14 to 1500 bucks used up to around $2,000. And I'm not willing to pay $2,000 for one of these. So when he sent me this one, I think it was marked at $16.99. So it was a decent enough price that I felt okay picking it up. Here it is. I can tell you right off the bat, the blue channel may be my favorite of any 5150 period. It sounds really good. So I'm really excited to dive into the demo of this thing and yeah, share it with you guys because it sounds really good. Quick note, I do have an issue with the red channel. It may be a preamp tube. I have not dove into it yet. I was really struggling thinking of what word that was that I was supposed to use there. I haven't dove into the tubes on the red channel, but if tubes don't fix it, I'll take it to Wagner Amp Repair. Mike will get it working exactly as it needs to be, and we'll get it on the channel. And with that being said, I also have the EL34 Stealth, which you guys have seen on a number of videos already anyways, but I haven't done a dedicated video for it yet, so I will definitely be doing a dedicated video for it sometime here in the near future because you guys have asked for it quite a bit, and I would love to do that because you guys know that I love the 5150. So, with that said, on to the next amp. Alright guys, next amp for the channel, the Driftwood Purple Nightmare. This is a fully loaded model. This has the 6L6 KT88 tube complement. You can order these with different features directly from Driftwood, and you can get different tubes put in them as well. Again, if you guys are watching on Facebook, go ahead and go over to YouTube because the quality of the audio and video is going to be better. But anyways, yeah, Driftwood Purple Nightmare. A lot of people asked me about this amp. I personally was super curious about it for a really long time. I got a trade offer on this thing that I absolutely could not refuse. So even though I wasn't technically looking for one because these things are pricey, the trade definitely worked out in my favor. So I took it and it's here, and you guys are going to hear a demo of it for sure. This one has been pretty highly requested. This is a pretty hyped amp on the high gain, like modern metal boutique market. I am not going to give too much away, but I'm going to say that my review might turn some heads of the amp. And I will leave it at that. I'm hoping to put the video up of this one pretty soon. But yeah, this is one that you guys have requested for me quite a bit, so I'm really happy to be able to do that for you. And that one should be coming within the next couple of weeks. This will be another amp that is going to be on that community post where I let you guys vote on the next demo that's going to air on Sunday. So keep an eye out for that, like I said. All right, so here's a bit of an obscure one. This is the Hughes and Kettner Trilogy. It is not the Triamp, it is the Trilogy. It is a 3-channel amplifier, all tube. It, I believe, preceded the Triamp. I don't think that's actually right, because the Triamp Mark I was still when they had their old style logo and amp design. So this may have come out after the Triamp. Now that I think about it, I got to do my research on it before I do the video. But again, got a great deal on these. The Triamp and the Duotone are Hughes and Kettner amps that I've owned before. They are older models that are no longer produced, but it doesn't really seem like there's a lot of quality content out there for them. So found this one at a decent price and figured I would get it on the channel. I sold the Duotone and the Trilogy before I had a chance to do demos of them, so I'm trying to hunt them back down soon, at least the Duotone, because I have this one here in my possession, obviously. But yeah, I'm gonna try my best to see if I can get this thing to sound cool, because as it is, it's like good, but it's not great. It's just plain. It's just plain. So before I jump to the next amp, I'm going to jump into the comments and try to respond to you guys the best that I can. So be patient with me. Can you put 6L6s in the 3120? Yes, you can. There's a switch for it. He does move a lot of gear. Yes, I do. That's basically why this channel exists. 100-watt Stell sounds brutal. Yes, it does. No, it's not a tube rattling. I haven't put the tubes in it yet because Guitar Center shipped them separately and they're in a separate box. But the tube cage is kind of rolling around loose inside the head shell. So, 100-watt EVH. Andy, yes, I don't work out at all anymore, actually. Besides riding mountain bikes, I usually ride 10 to 15 miles a day if I can on my local trails around here. I have not been working out at all for probably the past 10 months. I really haven't. I need to get back into it, but yeah, lifting amps will give you muscles. So many sick amps. Awesome. I'm glad that you guys think so. Had a Trilogy. Let me know if you ever want to sell it. Gravel Rocks. Yeah, the Trilogy will definitely be for sale once I'm done with it. So if you want to shoot me an email at splawnquickrod@gmail.com, we can talk about it. I mean, I'm basically ready to part with it whenever I can do a quick demo, and then we can get it to you if you want it. So want to see the old school Warp 7. Yeah, the Warp 7 looks ridiculous. Have I tried acquiring the Hughes and Kettner Warp 7? Oh, another for the Warp 7. Okay. All right. Warp 7's on the radar now, guys. Yeah, Purple Nightmare. Do I prefer 6505 Mini or the orange TH30? Maddie, I've never played the TH30. Sorry, man. If you mean the OR15, which is the little 15-watt lunchbox orange amp, you guys are going to be surprised, but the orange OR15, I recorded a video for that thing recently, and that thing is absolutely brutal. If I were to choose an EL84 based small lunchbox style amp, the OR15 would be at the top or near the top of the list. That is how much I enjoyed it. It's one of the best sounding lunchbox amps I've ever played. And hands down, I would pick it over the 6505 Mini Head because I don't love those very much. They kind of goofed around with some of the frequencies in the midsection, and I'm not a fan of that. I much prefer the Invective Mini Head to the 6505 Mini Head. An amp that I haven't tried that I'm dying to try. Wizard Modern Classic 2. That is hands down the first amp that I would like to get my hands on in the near future. Probably not going to happen because they're like $4,500 on the used market, but Wizard Modern Classic 2, hands down, is the amp that I'm dying to try. I would love to try some of the Sub-Zero stuff. MLC Ampworks, or what is it? MLC Shoot, I forget the company name, but he posted a couple pictures today of his amps, and they look incredible. They're modded Marshall style circuits. We've got MI audio. I still need to try a lot of the KSR stuff, so there's a lot to get to, guys. All right, with that being said, actually, I'm spending too much time here. Let's move on to the next amp. All right, next amp is the Blackstar Stage HT Stage 100. HT Stage 100. I tried the Mark II very early on in my channel, and I still get a lot of hate on that video because I didn't like the amp. So a lot of people told me to try the 100-watt models because the 100-watt models apparently have a presence. Yes, they do. They've got a presence and a resonance on the 100-watt ones that apparently the 50-watt models do not have, and I really felt that that original amp was missing the top-end presence. Like, it kind of had like a blanket over the speakers on the top. I couldn't get it bright enough without sounding harsh because of where the frequencies were focused, but I was never really interested in these amps until I saw God's Hate live. If you guys haven't checked out God's Hate, absolutely incredible hardcore band, and yeah, their guitarist was using one of these. One of their guitarists was using one of these, and it sounded good. It sounded like the record, which they have a very unique guitar tone. So I'm really curious to see how it sounds, but otherwise, I'm not super excited. But a lot of people have asked me to try the Blackstar stuff, and of course, if it's a high gain tube or solid state amp, it's gonna be on the channel at some point, guys, because that is my overarching goal of this channel, is to pretty much document every mid to high gain amplifier out there and just give you my spin on it. And that way, if you find multiple amps that you're looking at, you can come to my channel and compare all of them back to back through the same speaker, same microphone, and get a good idea of what the differences of the amp will be, so that it helps you in your purchase and helps you know what to look for. So that is why this amp will be on this channel sometime soon. So Blackstar HT Stage 100. Next up, this is the Laney GH100L. So, this is the second time that I've owned this amp. And by this amp, I mean this exact amp. The dude that I sold this amp to, I didn't get to make a demo before I sold it to him. I just had to get it out the door at the time because I had way too much stuff. I literally had, I think, like 3 full rows of amps and cabs that were just blocking the basement, and I had to get stuff out the door. So I sold the amp before I was able to make a demo, and that bummed me out because these things are actually really, really cool. They sound really good, especially for, I haven't been a big fan of Laney stuff yet. Like, I've tried a few of the amps, and I haven't really played one that's wowed me. This is the one. This is the one that I personally like. So the Laney GH100L, a lot of people say that it's supposed to be like a JCM 800, but with an extra gain stage and a resonance switch. I don't hear it. It doesn't sound like that to me. I know that a lot of the amps that came out within the time frame around the JCM 800, people basically just kind of lumped them in with the same category unless they were something like a Mesa Mark or a Peavey Ultra or something. So it's got its own unique sound, and I think it's a good sound, and I'm actually really looking forward to getting this on the channel. It sucks the way that I got it because the dude that I sold it to, I'm not going to name his name because I don't know how personal it is for him, but he sold the amp to pay for some medical expenses for his pet that ended up passing away, so that really sucks. He hit me up and asked me if I wanted to buy the amp back and told me the circumstances. I said absolutely. So I picked it up, but yeah. Not going to name your name, man, but if you're watching this, my heart goes out to you. Thanks for making this happen. And yeah, it's kind of a bummer. So let's try not to dwell on that for too long. But send your thoughts and prayers out to that guy because he's hurting, and that really sucks. So yeah, Laney GH100L will be coming up soon. All right, guys, this is a homie hookup special. My boy RJ Ward, who is a big supporter of the channel, sent this amp to me specifically just so I could make a video of it, which is absolutely awesome. Like, the dude just shipped it to me, covered the shipping, and I've actually had it here in my possession for quite a while because, like I said, I haven't been filming demos. He's been super cool about me hanging on to the amp, so I am going to dive into this thing soon. This is one of the most requested amps on the channel, if you guys can believe that, because you just don't see them very often at all. And I'm really, really excited to dive into it. This is the Crate Stealth 100 watt. If you guys are unfamiliar with this amp, it is a pretty highly regarded, high gain, like modded Marshall style amp, designed by Lee Jackson and produced by Crate. I have been curious about this amp for a long, long time. And I'm really excited to dive into it, honestly. I'm pretty excited to check this amp out. Never heard one in person. I've heard a few video clips, and we know how that can be on YouTube. So, yeah. The fact that I've got people who are willing to support the channel by sending me their own personal gear and let me hang on to it and being cool about it is super awesome. It's really, really cool to me. So thank you guys for the support. Anybody who buys the amps that I'm selling, anybody who sends me stuff to check out, you guys are literally what keeps this channel going. So thank you so much for the support. Crate Stealth 100 watt will be on the channel very soon. And actually, if you guys remember, I demoed the Ampeg VO1002 not that long ago. And that is also Ampeg and Crate were like sister companies for a while under St. Louis Music, and they produced the amp, the VO1002. I did a video demo for it. I absolutely loved the amp. He had another one of those in his possession, and he gave me a really good deal on it. So I, as a favor to him, he asked me to compare the two amps in a video. So I will be doing that video as well. I'll be comparing the Crate Stealth to the Ampeg VO1002, which is not up here because technically it's not a new amp for the channel. But yeah, this is one that you guys have requested a lot, and I am really, really excited to check it out myself. So there you go. On to the next. Here's another one that I am particularly interested in. This is the Bogner Alchemist tube amp. This is Bogner's attempt to manufacture, well, to design an amp that could be manufactured in China and be produced on a budget. I've never heard one of these amps in person. I hear a lot of bad things about them, not only from a sound or a tone standpoint, but from a reliability standpoint. So curious to see what I get when I plug into this thing. But yeah, this is one amp that I personally have been very, very curious about for a long time. Because again, you just don't see very many like good video demos of this thing or hear very many sound clips of it. So I really wanted to get something out there with my spin on it, because you guys appreciate the way that I do demos, and I appreciate that from you guys. But I'm excited to check it out and really see if it's capable, because a lot of the amps that I've gotten to play that people just seem to tend to talk down about, I have ended up really, really liking. One of those being the Crate Blue Voodoo. I think the Crate Blue Voodoo with the right amp and the right or the right boost in the right cab sounds really good, and you can still buy those things for like $300. Like, that's the best deal on the used tube amp market at this point, because nothing really goes for $300 in the full-sized tube amp market anymore. So it's pretty much the last of its kind in that regard. But let's take a look at some of these comments real quick. What did I miss? What tubes are in the Crate Stealth? They are the tube variety. Cannibal Corpse used? Not this particular one. I don't know if they use this amp at all. Dustin Nichols says, I can't believe you find some of these amps. One of the great things about being known as the amp guy on YouTube is I have a lot of people who not only hit me up when they're like offloading stuff, but they hit me up when they find deals. Like they just are like, hey, you've mentioned that you've wanted to check this out before, so I found this one for sale. Or in this case, you know, like, or no, that was the Stealth, sorry. I found this one for sale. They send me the listing and it turns out to be a good price and I'm able to pick it up. So I'm definitely grateful for that. If any of you guys have ever tried to send me listings to amps or anything, or have sold me amps for the purpose of me being able to check them out on the channel, thank you very much, because that goes a long way in making things happen. Who's over on Facebook? Jeremy? Chris, I gave you a shout out earlier, man. You should watch the YouTube stream though. But yeah, Lee Jackson Crate. It's not hard finding amps, just got to stay on your toes and be on the lookout. Yeah, yes and no. You have to be, like you said, you have to be on the search all the time. And even when you're on the search all the time, a particular amp that you're looking for may take a long time to track down. So, Maddie Sin says, what attenuator do I use? Don't believe that I sit here next to an unattenuated 100 watts. I sit next to unattenuated 100 watt amps every time I do a demo, whether they're 100 watts or not. No, I don't use an attenuator, man. Never will, because attenuators, no matter how well they are designed, are going to change the tone. So try to give you guys the absolute most accurate example of what I'm hearing in the room as possible. So, all right, my chat just jumped down. Again, guys, if you're here, we've got 134 people on this stream. That is absolutely awesome. You guys rule. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out. Be sure to drop your questions in the chat, and I will try to get to them. Hit the like button if you would, please, because it massively helps this stream be more visible and get put in the algorithm and all that YouTube crap that you hear from everybody. Unfortunately, it's a real thing, and the more that you guys help me, the better it is for me, I guess. It doesn't really help you, so I guess I'm just being honest, but it helps me. So if you guys want to help me, hit that like button, and I would really appreciate it. Bogner, no, the Alchemist was not a collaboration. You're thinking of the Line 6 Spider Valve, which had the Bogner designed power amp section in it. And I did a video on that amp quite a while ago, over last summer, I think. So if you want to see my take on it, I have a video. Just search my channel. Andy Bungert says, not that it matters, but do a lot of these amps come with slip covers? Some of them do, some of them don't. And usually if it's a slip cover for an amp that I own or will fit an amp that I own or something, I keep them. So I've got a whole closet full of slip covers because I don't keep the covers on the amps, which I probably should, just to keep them from getting dusty. But Big Mike, what's up, Big Mike? He's been a supporter of the channel since the very beginning. Not a Patreon member, I don't think. Or are you? Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. I don't think that you are. You should be. That would be cool. You talk smack to me all the time, so you might as well give me some money for dealing with you. That was a joke, by the way. I first heard one when I went to see the Metallica cover band Battery. Not sure what amp that you're talking about. PRS Archon. PRS Archon, I have demos on the 100 and the 50 watt PRS Archon. And I have a channel or a video comparing the two as well. So I've got a lot of stuff on the Archon. Have not done the Archon Mark II video yet, but I will be doing that one soon. What's up, Jared? Tone Wars in the house. Everybody say hi to Jared. Thanks for stopping in, dude. Looks like you've been kind of getting busy with the channel again in the recent couple of days, so happy to see that. Jared just got a Kiesel. Haven't watched the video yet, but I'll check that out when I get a second. Wow, the DSL 100HR you ordered in December is finally coming next month. That sucks. Can I turn my mic pre up a little bit? Yeah, I definitely can. How's this? Let me know if that's better. I just don't want to overload it. What lunchbox head do I recommend for versatility? I don't know, man. You're kind of asking the wrong guy because I'm not really a versatile player. I don't aim for those things. The Invective Mini head has a lot of great features built into it. Like, that's one of the few plug-and-play amps that I think is out there in any size, shape, or form. It's got decent features. The MT15 is still one of my favorite lunchbox-sized amps because it's got an amazing clean channel and it's got an awesome gain channel, and it's one of the few amps in that form factor that can actually hang at volume. And it's affordable. That's a big thing. I got a Fireball 25 a while ago, which I did not pull that one up, but you'll see why shortly. But yeah, the Fireball 25 is definitely hands down my new favorite lunchbox head, like no questions. And I took it to human animal practice a couple of weeks ago, and for 25 watts, man, that thing had zero problem hanging in a band mix. It still had headroom to spare. It had plenty of low end. That for sure is going to be one of my travel amps for the future, because not only is it small, it's fairly lightweight, but it's got volume, it's got headroom, and the tone is ridiculous. So you guys will see a Fireball 25 video soon as well. But that one's not super versatile because it is kind of limited in the controls. Kyle, what's your opinion on the Peavey Butcher? I found one locally, not sure what you should pay for it. It's an 80s one. Yeah, the Butcher is essentially Peavey's take on a JCM 800. That is one amp that actually does sound like a JCM 800. It was kind of designed similarly to a JCM 800. But like a JCM 800, it doesn't have a lot of gain. So unless you have good boost pedals or you have a legendary tone hot mod, it's not going to do the high gain thing. Keep that in mind. What are they worth? Right now, they're worth anywhere from $500 to $800 considering how clean they are. If they have all the original knobs, if they have the logo on it, if it's in good shape, and those amps shipped with USA power and preamp tubes. So it still has good USA stock tubes in it, which almost every Butcher that I've ever bought still has had those tubes in them. Could very well be top of that price range, $800 to $900. So very cool amp. All right, back to the amps because we still got a few to go over, and I still got to unbox this stuff, and we're like, are we an hour into the stream already? No, we're like 40 minutes into it. Next amp, the Soldano SLO Mini. I haven't plugged in yet. I have not plugged into this amp yet. I gotta do a big thank you for Sweetwater. My man Josh at Sweetwater sent me this because you guys were requesting it left and right. I'm super excited to get into this. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the SLO 100 or the SLO 30 in my possession anymore. I am currently looking for an SLO 100 for my personal, like, forever collection. Like, I need another one again because after I sold the other one, I was kicking myself. But if you guys find a new 2020 or newer Soldano SLO 100 and it's around $3,000, please let me know because I will buy it. I am very much looking for one. But anyways, the SLO Mini, a lot of you guys have requested that. I see a lot of hate online for all of these mini boutique amp distribution amps, the Friedman, the Bogner, the Dietzel, and now the Soldano. A lot of people are talking smack. I played the Friedman one. I shot my video for it yesterday. You guys are insane who are saying that that thing sounds bad, who are saying that it sounds nothing like a Friedman. Use your good ears and the smart part of your brain because that thing sounds absolutely incredible. And it only got me more hyped for this little SLO Mini because the Friedman Mini was so good and it sounded like a Friedman, and it's now $249 brand new. Like, it's stupid. I actually might make a video of me taking one of these to practice tonight and seeing if it'll hang in a band mix on its own. If you guys are interested in that, let me know because this is actually super easy to transport, so I can just throw it in my book bag with some of my other gear. But yeah, we can definitely do an experiment. These are 30 watts of solid state power. They get loud. I don't know that they're going to be able to hang in a band mix unless you're mic'd up, but we could try it anyways. It's all up to whether you guys want to see it or not. But regardless, thanks again to Sweetwater. I'm really excited to check this out. I hope you guys are too. I think it's going to be a really interesting one. I'm going to go in the comments here for just a second. Arthur Gonzalez, what's up, man? First block letter 51. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to move on. Nothing really to address there. I'm really excited about this amp because this is an amp that I have wanted to own for myself for a long, long time. A long time. A really long time. I'm going to take a drink real quick. I forgot that that was sitting here. My girlfriend's been on an energy drink kick because these are on sale at Sheetz right now. Like 3 for $5. And I forgot how much I love energy drinks. But I'm going to try to kick that habit here pretty soon. Yeah, Engl Fireball 100, seriously. I've wanted this amp for so long. My only experience with it, I've never played it, if you guys can believe it. One of my really good friends, Jason Howell, who is also a gear addict, he is the guitarist in the band that I play drums for called Subdue. We recorded our first EP, and the amps that he used were a VHT Pitbull CLX and the Engl. But the Engl is definitely the main tone on his side, and really it's kind of like the dominating tone in the mix of that EP, because as soon as I plugged into this thing, I heard the album tone from our EP, which I personally love. I think the guitars sound really, really good on that EP, so I'm really pumped to have this in my possession. I have not really demoed any Engl gear other than a little Gigmaster 15 amp. So I discussed it with Jurgen a little bit, and I floated the idea to you guys once before, and I'm going to float it to you again. Do you want to see an entire Engl amp week? Because I have the Fireball 100, I have the Fireball 25, I have the Powerball 100, I have the Savage Mark II, and the Savage Mark I. I also have the Powerball preamp pedal, and I have an Engl 412, I forget the exact model of the cabinet, but I'm going to try to start bringing the cab videos back because you guys seem to enjoy those. So I think I'm going to do an entire Engl week where I do like an Engl video a day, every day for a week. But it's only if you guys want to see it. Otherwise, I can just space these amps out like I do with all the other stuff. But I just kind of thought it would be cool. Jurgen is the CEO of Engl, and he's been basically really cool to me. They want to get me some stuff for the channel, but they have been having a hard time getting their amps in, so they haven't had a chance to actually send me anything yet. But as I have been talking to him, I have slowly been stacking Engl amps on my own. And let me just say that a couple of these amps will not leave my collection because they are absolutely awesome. So what do you guys think about Engl Week? Let me know. Dustin says, yes to Engl Week. Arthur, what's going on, man? Frailty Lives says, too much Engl and spelled too wrong. So I think he means like too much Engl. Like let's move on to much more Engl than we've had so far. I think that's what you mean, right? Put this crate stealth against the Fireball 100. No. That doesn't make any sense. Powerball versus Invader versus Fireball versus Savage. Whew. That sounds like a lot of work. If we're gonna do more than one amp comparison, like I want to do like a big 5150 video comparing pretty much every model of 5150. It's gonna have to be like a finished track type of thing where I have a short 20-second finished track and we literally hear every single amp over that finished track, and then you guys can hear the dry guitars as well. I think that would be the best way to do it. Otherwise, there's no way that I can do 4 amps and just go back to back to back to back. So, Engl Week, do it. Powerball and Fireball models are excellent. All right, so a couple people couple people are interested in the Engl week. It doesn't really seem like you guys are like crazy about it, so we'll see. Again, let me know in the comments too. Like leave some comments on this video if you guys really do want to see the Engl week. That way I can gauge it and see if it's worth doing, or if you guys are gonna be like, nah, what? Just do them like you normally would. So yeah. Bram says the Savage is the best of the bunch. I disagree. I think this amp is, but that's just my personal opinion. And that's the great thing about opinions, is we're all able to have our own, and nobody is really wrong. So I like the Engl Fireball 100. If you like the Savage better, I get that. Definitely way more options. It's a good sounding amp. It just takes a lot more work to dial in because of the options. But I just enjoy the simplicity and the rawness of the Fireball 100. So that's my personal opinion, but you guys will definitely see all the Engl stuff coming up on the channel soon. And if you would, elaborate on why the Savage is your favorite, because I'm just genuinely curious. I want to know what it is people like about certain amps. So yeah, super excited about this one. Super excited about the Fireball 25. I'm going to move on to the next amp now. Cliff, what's up, buddy? Yes, I do need a special edition. You are right, dude. And I need some MI audio stuff, so let's talk soon. All right, next amp is the Triple Rectifier Multi-Watt. I cannot legitimately remember if I have done a video of my dual rectifier multi-watt, but if you guys want to see a comparison of the two, I still have my dual rectifier multi-watt. It really is the rectifier that made me start to appreciate rectifiers. I never really liked them before. If you guys go back to my early videos on the channel, I would always talk about how I didn't like rectifiers, and I just could never gel with them. I could never get the tone right. The feel was always just too loose for me. And for some reason, once I got that dual rectifier multi-watt, that everything changed. It was like I heard them in a completely different light. I don't know why, but the multi-watt is still my favorite of the mass production rectifier amps by a long shot. These things are tighter. They're a little bit more aggressive in the upper mids. They just sound really good. There's a little bit more clarity for them as well. And yeah, so anyways, the triple, this is the first time I've owned the triple rectifier multi-watt. I bought this last night, actually, on my way out to Cleveland. Like I said earlier in the stream, I went out to hang out with Fluff because his band Dragged Under was playing in Cleveland. So I took the opportunity to go out there and meet him and hang out with him. But pretty much anytime I leave my house and I go further than like 30 minutes away from my house, I look for gear, because not only do I find great stuff for the channel, usually I find good deals and I can make a little bit of money on the turnaround that usually pays for the trip, sometimes more so. And the Erie, PA gear market is absolutely dead. There is nobody in Erie that is buying, selling, trading gear that is worth anything other than my friends and myself. So therefore, if I want to find local deals, basically without shipping, I have to go into the surrounding cities, which are all around 2 hours away from me. So anytime I travel, I look for gear. Found this last night, $1,300, and it is mint condition. Comes with the cover. The guy gave me a few extra preamp tubes with it. It came with the foot switch, and I plugged it in this morning, and it sounds so good. And I'm excited to check it out with you guys on the channel. Again, the multi-watt stuff is in my opinion the best of the bunch that Mesa has put out as far as it goes regarding the mass production rectifier series. These things are incredible. This one sounds incredible, and it's very, very likely that I'm not going to sell it. We'll see. I'm starting to stack rectifiers again. I had quite a few last year, and I sold all of them except for my multi-watt dual rectifier and my modded triple rectifier, but the stack has slowly been growing. So, yeah, I mean, I've definitely heard that as well about Mesa's Actually from my tech, Mike Wagner, Amp Repair. Mike, if you see this, what's up? Mike watches pretty much all my videos, so I appreciate you, man. Like Wagner Amp Repair on Facebook. If you guys want a good tech, Mike is really, really cool about talking to my viewers that I send his way, and he'll troubleshoot amps for you. All you got to do is shoot him a message, and if you want to ship him an amp, he's incredibly reasonable and super fast turnaround on repair. I know this sounds like a big commercial for the guy, and it basically is, because he is an incredible amp tech. He's an incredible person. He is very fairly priced. He's extremely knowledgeable, and he's just a good dude. So I would love to help him out in any way possible. And if you guys need an amp tech, you'll know where to find one. So yeah, go on to Facebook, like Wagner Amp Repair. But he has fixed quite a few Mesas for me, because we have a cool working relationship where I'll search for broken amps if I find broken amps at a really good deal, and I will bring them to him and have him repair them, and I will have whatever amp it is for much less than you would normally be able to buy it in used working condition. Perfect example of that is my Engl Fireball 2. I bought that broken for 450 bucks. We put $280 in repairs into it, parts and labor, and now I have an Engl Fireball that I paid less than $1,000, or an Engl Powerball 2 that I paid less than $1,000 for, thanks to Mike. So yeah, help the man out. Like his Facebook page for his amp repair shop. If you have any questions, troubleshooting stuff, hit him up. He is super quick to respond, super nice guy. But yeah, 1,300 bucks. Yes, $1,300, man. Killer deal on one of these right now. If I were gonna turn it around, it would be much more expensive than $1,300. So, 50-watt single rectifier. The single rectifier is okay. It's, for one, it doesn't have enough headroom. It sounds good until you really push it, but that amp runs out of headroom faster than any other 50-watt amp I've ever played, other than the Dover DA50. I really like the Dover DA50, but it didn't have the headroom to hang in a loud band setting. My bands are loud, so I had to let that one go. But yeah, single rectifier sounds good on its own. Once you put it into a loud band setting, runs out of headroom pretty quickly. So on to the next amp. All right, guys. Final amp that is not part of the unboxing, which we still have to do the unboxing. So we've got 140 people hanging out. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for so long. That's absolutely rad. We've got a Mesa 50 caliber plus. If you guys want to know the history on this amp, I am not super good at remembering off the top of my head, because I'm not the biggest Mesa fan of their classic stuff. But Fluff did a video on this amp a long time ago, and it's essentially like a Mark Light series. Like if you like the Mark III, the Mark IV, this was kind of in that same vein as the Mark series, but it was stripped down on some of the features, making it more affordable. They apparently are kind of becoming like a cult classic type of amp. And I have both the head version and the combo version. Originally, my plan was to rehouse the combo because it came with an EVM 12L speaker, which is a really, really sought after speaker, and have my dude over at Warlock Cabinets make me a head shell for the amp part of the combo, and then I would take that speaker out and put it in one of the Mesa 212 slants, the classic. It's two different compartments. The bottom speaker is usually an EVM, and then the top speaker is usually a CL8 or a C90 Black Shadow, which is essentially a revoiced classic Lead 80. So I'm still gonna do that, and I'm gonna have my dude at Warlock, like I said, make me a custom head shell for the amp portion of the combo. And then we've got this one here. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna make a demo of this one, and then I'm gonna resell it. But if you guys are into the Mark stuff, this amp, honestly, it sounds a lot like my Mark III. It really does sound a lot like my Mark III, and they can be had for much less, usually under $1,000. This one is in absolutely incredible shape for its age, so I'm pumped to demo this one soon. This is the last of the amps that I have opened, guys. I'm going to hit your questions real quick, and then we're going to jump into the unboxing because I don't want people to get bored with this stream going too long. So, who's over on Facebook? Someone's talking to me. Can't wait to hear the 50 cal plus from James. What's up, James? Again, thank you guys for hanging out if you're on the Facebook stream, but it's going to sound way better if you go over to the YouTube stream. We got 140 people over on the YouTube stream. I've got better audio and video over there. So if you guys want to, hang out over there, the link is on my profile, and I'm forgetting what I'm trying to tell you guys. So, similar to Mark III. Andy James uses those. The DC, the dual caliber is another one that I had. I had a dual caliber and I sold it because somebody saw it in the background in one of my videos and made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So I got rid of it pretty quickly. That's another one I'd like to get, but that's pretty much the evolution of the 50 caliber plus. Mark with less bells and whistles. Yep, exactly, Joel. That's pretty much exactly what they are. 6534 plus, you have a 6534 plus sounds awesome, guys. It's a really good sounding amp, so I'm excited for that one. Any thoughts on how the 2203 KK, the Kerry King 2203 stacks up in the JCM line? Not quite digging mine, but maybe the Marshall flavor isn't for me. So what the 2203 Kerry King is, man, is essentially it's just the 2203 reissue, but in the power section, they have put KT88 power tubes. It's the same exact power section, but they have KT88 power tubes in it. And they have the Beast button, which basically engages Kerry King's signature settings on his MXR 10-band EQ and a tube screamer. That's all it is. So if you don't have that Beast, and it's got the noise gate, the really, really good noise gate. It's actually the noise gate that is on the 2203 Kerry King amp, guys. I'm not sure if you know this, but that is the noise gate that pretty much every modern popular noise gate pedal utilizes. Somebody reverse engineered it. I'm not going to say who the first person was to do it. I think most people know by now, but in true, Guitar Gear fashion, after he did it, everybody started copying his pedal, which was a copy of the Marshall design that is in the 2203 Kerry King, but getting off on a tangent. So it has a really good noise gate built into it, but if you don't have that Beast switch engaged, it is a stock 2203X Marshall JCM 800 reissue with KT88s in the power section. So it's a cool collector's amp, and by cool I mean it's really cringy because it's got the tribal on it, but if you're between a 2203 reissue for $1,500 and the Kerry King reissue for, I think they go for something almost like $3,000 now, get yourself an MXR 10-band EQ for $100. Get yourself a boost of your choice. The tube screamer is what's built into the 2203 Kerry King, and you essentially have that amp. And most people who are buying a Marshall for metal like we play probably already has that stuff on hand. So go ahead and save yourself some money in the process. All right, so what do we miss here in the chat? Do I plan to do more direct comparisons between amps? I think of all guys on YouTube, you might have the biggest collection. A huge shootout would be amazing, yeah. So, Luca, I would absolutely love to. And I am planning on doing basically a big shootout of, I'm not going to do every amp I own because I own over 60 amps, so it would just be an insane project to try and accomplish. But I'm definitely going to try to do some more in-depth comparisons, not just A versus B like my head-to-head series is. Basically kind of comparing more amps at the same time. There is another YouTuber who does that stuff on a consistent basis, and his channel is awesome, and that's Sonic Drive Studios. And John, if you ever see this video, dude, I mean, we've talked many times, but I love your videos. You are a great resource to the YouTube community, to the guitar community, and John does a lot of videos where he does like massive amp shootouts, multiple options. I think one of his has like something like 30 amps or something. So yeah, check out Sonic Drive Studios if you really do like the big amp comparison, because he has more than a couple of them, and that is one dude that can definitely rival my amp collection, is John. So I am below. Dude, thank you so much for the super chat. That is awesome. 15 bucks. Really appreciate the support. Thank you, man. He says, thank you for your videos. I've been looking around the used market a bunch lately and see so many amps I've never heard of before, but you seem to always have a video on them. Keep up the great work. Thank you, dude. Thank you for the super chat. That seriously helps a lot, and I really appreciate the generosity. That's awesome that my videos consistently come up when you're looking for stuff, because again, that is the whole point of this channel, is for me to archive pretty much every amp that I can get my hands on and demo it the way that I demo it. That way you guys can use the channel as a resource when you're looking for amps to purchase. So thank you very much for the super chat, man, and I'm glad that the channel is helpful. Really appreciate it. All right. Sonic Drive, yes, yeah, Caesar, yeah, he's awesome. He's a really good dude. Truck Driver Sean, everybody say hi to Truck Driver Sean. He has just entered the chat. I think I also saw Jeremy of Donkeys and Demos up here. Yep, Jeremy. Everybody subscribe to Donkeys and Demos and Truck Driver Sean's YouTube channels if you guys haven't already. Both excellent people that do quality demos. John is the man. John's channel is amazing. Yep, John's a good dude, and his videos are awesome. So just record a single guitar track through the DI. Oh yeah, for sure. I'll reamp them. That's how I would do it anyways, is just to, you know, reamp a whole bunch of stuff and dial it in the way that I would dial it. So Lenzer, thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you. Did you have a question or no? Thoughts on the new Terror? Dude, thank you for the double super chat. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. New Terror. If you guys are into hardcore, Terror, my band Human Animal is playing with Terror in 2 weeks in Cleveland, to be exact. So I'm super pumped about that. Terror is one of my all-time favorite hardcore bands, one of my all-time favorite bands, period. I tend to like their earlier stuff better because it was super raw and super angry, and if I'm listening to hardcore, that's kind of what I want. The new record is really, really good. It is the first Terror record that I've gotten into in quite some time, and I was listening to it when I was on the bike the other day, and dude, it sounds absolutely incredible. Silas from Electric Eye Audio shooting me a message asking me what I have for sale right now. Hey guys, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and head over to YouTube. Link is on the channel. Better audio, better video. But yeah, the new Terror is great. What do you think about it, man? I'm curious to see what other people think about it, but I feel like every time a new Terror record comes out, people are just gaga over it, and that hasn't been the case for me for the last couple. I haven't really been a fan of much since Keepers of the Faith, but the new record that just came out is really, really sick. So thanks again for the super chat, man, and I appreciate the support. Joel says, hope I've been keeping my eyes open on a Hagen. That is one single amp I've been waiting to see you do a demo on. Dude, I never see Hagens. I see Herberts all the time. I never see Hagens. So if I find a Hagen at a good price, I will jump right on it. Dustin Nichols, the thought that counts. I'd like to super chat $500 at you. Dude, yeah, I mean, you guys, just your viewership alone and having, I mean, Dustin, you comment on every video. That is more of a help than you know, so thank you for the support in any way, shape, or form. I really appreciate you guys, whether you're donating money to the Patreon or channel, or whether you're just stopping by to hang out and chat in the chats. Everybody, I appreciate you guys. You are what makes it possible for me to be able to do this. So, all right. With that being said, we are going to jump into the boxes because this live stream is already going over an hour. And I haven't even got to the unboxing portion yet. So, VH4 Blueface when? Probably never, because I don't care about that amp. So it's not going to be something that I am going to be spending my money on. If someone has one that they want to send me, or I come across one that somebody's willing to let me borrow, I'll certainly get it on the channel. But I just don't like the VH4. I owned one for a while. It really was not my thing at all. And I have no desire of ever owning that amp again unless it's purely from a collector standpoint. And even then, the prices on them are stupid. And I'm not that much of a collector, so I like to play my amps too and enjoy them. Let's get into the boxes, guys. Let me grab a knife real quick and stab myself on accident. All right, so first box. I think this first box is going to be the amp that we are going to be least excited about. So just giving you guys the honest heads up. Let's hope it's rolling around inside the box. This is a Guitar Center special, so let's hope it's not damaged. The box isn't even big enough for the amp, so that's a good sign. Oh no, this is an important one to be in good shape. So this is actually, yeah, this is not what I thought it was. All right, guys, first amp from Guitar Center today is the Randall Satan 120. And you're probably asking yourself, why would you care? Because I already demoed one of these on the channel. Well, the one that I demoed on the channel was, this amp was mint before they shipped it, and now it's got a big gouge in it right here. So gonna have to give Guitar Center a call. But the first one that I demoed had mercury magnetics transformers, and somebody had swapped the tubes from the KT88 6L6 that they were supposed to be to all 6L6. So it wasn't a true representation of the Randall, and I kind of wanted to redo the amp just because I wanted to make sure that we got the stock version of the amp up on the channel. I will probably rename the original video as the modded. I did make a disclaimer in the very beginning of the video that that one had been modified. But yeah, we're gonna take another stab at the Randall Satan 120. I'm not generally a huge fan of Randall's amps whatsoever. I really don't like pretty much any of the modern ones that they put out. Didn't like the Diablos, really didn't like the Thrasher. And the Satan, while I got some cool tones out of it on my last video, it's just not something that I'm really into. It's just too modern, not enough mids in the right places in order for it to cut through the mix. So, ooh, just put my knee right on the power cable. But yeah, that is the first amp. That is the first box. Let me know what you guys think. I'm kind of excited to try it out again. So, just got a Randall Satan 120 after a year of holding out, and he loves it. Awesome, man. I'm glad that you are happy with it. Randall Satan. All right. People, yeah, dude, Phil has a ton of awesome amps. He's got some stuff that I am jealous of, and there are not many people that I can say that about. So, and Phil's also a super nice dude, and he has an awesome reamping service too. So, super cool guy. Lots of really cool amps in his studio for sure. Kyle's our local Ola, but with a nicer smile and less burping. Yeah, people do compare me to Ola quite a bit. I've noticed that in the comments. That's completely by chance. I mean, we both just happen to be goofy dudes who love amps. He's just a much better musician than I am. So keep that in mind. I'm not a great guitarist. He's actually a good guitarist. Knees on cable suck. Oh yeah, no, it didn't feel good. Have I tried the older Randalls? No, I have not, but I will. Okay. Yes, Bata SSL. Yes, that shows at no class. That's where it's going to happen. So that'll be fun. That's a cool venue. I saw Power Trip at that venue when it was Now That's Class. So I like that venue a lot. I got to make sure that my computer's plugged in here, and then I'm getting power before this stream dies. All right, guys, like I said, total stream amateur. I'm going to have to go and cut out a whole bunch of video. Low quality guitar videos, F. Yeah, F in the chat. I totally ruined that one. So, can you guys hear me now? How about now? We good now? Oh, I realized it already. All right, cool. We're back. We're back. Yeah, sorry. When I unplugged the power cable from my USB-C dongle, apparently it just reset everything that was plugged into the computer. So, sorry guys. Belligerent amateur at work here. I'm going to go back. I'll cut all that out. But, yeah, we're good now. Okay, we're good. So as I was saying when I unboxed this one, this is just a Marshall JCM 900 high gain dual reverb 50 watt. I'm not going to go through the trouble of unwrapping this ridiculous 20 layers of bubble wrap around the amp. My original high gain dual reverb was the 100 watt that I did the video on, and that video did really well. Got a lot of growth out of it, somewhere around 20,000 views. So I figured might as well pick up the 50 watt, check the 50 watt out. I actually have a 100 and a 50 watt in my possession right now, as well as the JCM 900 SLX. So I've got two of the three major JCM 900 models. I just need to get a Mark III master volume again. I had a couple of them last year, but I sold them both. Trying to get them all in my possession again so we can do a three-way shootout of all three versions of the JCM 900. And yeah, so that's all this is. It's just a 50 watt high gain dual reverb. It's really nothing special or nothing to write home about. And that was why I was trying to get that one out of the way first, because I do like this amp. I think these amps sound better than they are given credit for, but it's not anything crazy. So what? Why you look so sad, huh? He doesn't like the high gain dual reverb either. All right, guys, last but not least, let's get to the last item. This one I am absolutely psyched on. Popped on the Rig Talk forum for the first time in a long time the other day. Jumped into the classifieds, and I saw this. So, I was talking to a certain someone about it last night, who was absolutely gushing over what was done to this thing. So I am really excited to pull this thing out. That's what she said. Give me just a minute. I'm going to move the Randall Satan out of the way. Also, if you cry about me putting an amp on its side, you can go ahead and leave the chat. I would actually prefer that. All right, are you guys ready? Big reveal. This is the item I am excited about. It's a dual rectifier. No big deal, right? Well, you saw the box that it came out of. I'm trying to keep this so you guys can actually see it. What's it say? Right here. KSR Mod Shop. So, if you guys may remember that Fluff had a 2-channel dual rectifier, I believe it was a dual, modified by Kyle at KSR Amplification a few months ago, and he said that it was the best rectifier that he's ever played. And I actually found somebody who was selling one of these amps that sent the amp to Kyle to do the same exact mods that Fluff had done. So this is the exact same thing that you saw in Fluff's video. It's not the same amp because he still owns his, but this has had all of the same modifications done to it. So this is the KSR. I don't know if it's like a standard modification that he does or if the guy just sent it to him and said, hey, do everything that Fluff had done to his because I want the same thing. But yeah, that's what this is. So I'm definitely going to make a dedicated video on this because I am super, super pumped to check this thing out. Again, I was talking to Fluff last night and he was just absolutely like gushing over this amp. Says that, you know, it pretty much puts all of his other rectifiers to shame. Coming from him, that is saying something because the dude has some of the best rectifiers on the earth. He's got the Rev E, which is my personal favorite, the Rev F. So, yeah. Bob, what did I miss? Somebody's laughing. $2 for dog. Thank you. Dog will get treats. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, but it's a dual rec, but it's been modified. So in case you missed that, no, it's not a multi-watt. It's a 2-channel. You can tell that by the control layout on the front. It's got a lot less knobs and everything. So yeah, KSR Modded Dual Rectifier is what the main attraction of this entire stream was. And do you guys want to hear it right now? Because it's sitting on top of a Mesa 212 cab. I do have an SM57 sitting right there. It's hooked up. So you guys let me know if you want to hear the amp right now. But I'm super pumped about this. It apparently has a depth modification. Yep, there it is. Depth mod on the back. So if you have ever plugged anything directly into the power section of a dual rectifier, they don't have a lot of low end. The power section doesn't have a lot of low end. Oh man, I actually don't know if I'm going to be able to hook this up right now, guys, because he's got all the tubes individually wrapped. So unless you want to hang tight and I try to talk and install tubes at the same time, might be a little bit tough. I'm glad that the dude packed it well, but I find this to be a pain. If you're shipping amps, unless the tube sockets are loose, you really don't need to wrap every individual tube. And if the tube sockets are a little bit loose, you can just stuff bubble wrap inside the head shell instead of pulling every single tube out of it. But yeah, every tube is wrapped individually, so it might take me a little while to put this thing together. But if you guys really want to hear it, I will do that. Fire in the hole. All right, you guys are all saying, yeah, let's hear it. So, all right, I will try to talk and unwrap these tubes at the same time. I'm actually going to set this on the floor because I'm probably going to let it roll off the amp and break it. But yeah, so everybody who has been watching for the whole video, what amps are you the most excited to check out of the ones that I revealed? And if there's something that you want to see from me that I haven't demoed yet, please let me know. If it's not in that group of amps, there's more stuff where that came from. But I'm really curious to see, you know, a lot of those amps were heavily requested by you guys, by the audience. So I made it a point to grab the ones that you really wanted to see. But if there are more, let me know which ones those are as well, because I am always going to be on the hunt for whatever you guys are looking for. That's weird. There's two different rectifier tubes. This one doesn't have any sort of labeling on it whatsoever. Ah, my man. All right, I'm talking smack. He only had the rectifier tubes taken out, so we are good. Not going to take too long to fire it up at this point. So let's get the rest of his bubble wrap out of here. The amp has JJ6L6 GCs in it. Pretty much the most common power tube that I see these days. Pretty much everywhere. And it looks like it's got JJs throughout the preamp. So I don't know if Kyle did that, or I don't know if this dude did it. I generally don't like all JJ preamp and power amp tubes. Things kind of sound a little bit bland when you do that. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to kill the Facebook stream. Thanks for watching, guys. I need that for the flashlight. We're going to go ahead and sign out. See ya. But let me get this SM57 lined up. Let me see what you guys are saying real quick. Yeah, I always set the bold anyways. I never use the rectifier tubes on these things. They are loose enough even in the tightest settings that you don't need that. Wizard MTL? Yeah. Joel, what Bogner? There's multiple Bogner amps. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. He's really curious about the Laney. Awesome. New Steve Stevens Friedman. That would be really cool if I could get my hands on one of those. I would really like to check that out. Another vote for Wizards. Cool. So at least people are on the same page that I am for the most part. EVH Stealth Shootout, says Dustin Nichols. Yeah, I'm not putting the crate in with other amps. Sorry, guys. It's just, I'm going to do a demo of it. I'm going to do the comparison video for RJ Ward, but I'm not going to put it up against any other amps because it's just not popular enough. Silas. What's up, Silas? How's it going, man? Silas of Electric Eye Audio is in the chat. He also has an awesome channel. He's got a big channel in Brazil. Forgive me, man, right? Brazil, I believe. And he also started a channel in English not that long ago. Super, super cool guy. The Electric Eye Audio stuff is fantastic. So, interested in Engls, not just the Fireball. I got to see Power Trip. Yes, I am lucky to have gotten to see them. It sucks that they're not a band anymore because they were absolutely one of my favorite new bands. EVH Stealth 100. Everybody, it seems a lot of people are saying yeah for Engl Week. So, cool. I'm glad to hear that you guys are stoked for Engl Week. Any Bogner. I have a few videos on the Uberschall. I've got a Rev Blue video. I've got a Shiva 20th anniversary video, and then I have a video comparing my Rev Green to the Rev Blue. Derek says Germino. That's an amp that I don't really know much about. I got to look more into those, but those seem to be very, very small market. Yeah, the Dean Costello. That's another one. Dean Costello is another amp that I really need to get into. Yeah, so let's move these tubes to a place where I'm not going to step on them. I do have the boost board up here ready to go for you guys. So there's the boost board. I'm going to try my best not to knock everything over all at once because I have a tendency to do that. Alright, so those cables are over there. Let's get our input cable. Okay, plugged into the input. Here's our power cable. Sitting under the SM57 mic stand. Okay, so we are on silicone diodes. We are on the bold power setting. It's fired up. All right, no sparks or flames coming out from the start. We're off to a good start already. Now, Fluff told me I had to try this without a boost first. He says that it is significantly tightened over the original. So I got to take the man's word for it. We got to line up our SM57 so that it is in the right spot, so that it sounds like my other videos. All right, SM57 is properly placed. And I just realized I don't have a speaker cable. I will be right back. All right, we've got the speaker cable. We are just about ready to go. Again, Mesa Rectifier 212 cabinet is what we're going into. I'm going to grab my Gallagher that I use for pretty much every video because it is my new favorite guitar. I'm going to have to play with the audio levels, guys, real quick. So You're just going to have to bear with me. And I got to get my cables untangled here. Because this whole stream was very, very last minute. So thanks for hanging out for so long with me, guys. I literally threw this together on a whim. It was not planned today. And the fact that we have 160 people sitting here and hanging out is absolutely awesome. So thank you guys for being here. It's been a lot of fun. All right. So, let's see. No boosts are on, right? No boosts are on. The Digitech drop pedal is not on. I have my Rev G8 gate on the back of the board. That is on in every channel. It looks like we are on the orange channel to start. I'm going to put the gain at noon. This is not going to be a full amp demo like normal. I'm just going to plug into this thing, see what we get. All right, I'm going to turn my vocal mic off, and I am going to turn the SM57 on. Dude, all right, he was not lying. How's my mic? Okay, let's turn this up. Yeah, that's no boost, guys. That is no boost in front of the amp whatsoever, and it sounds massive but tight. Like the depth on this thing, I don't know if you guys heard. I rolled it all the way off and then rolled it all the way on. It adds so much low end to this amp, but it's in the power section, so you can roll the bass on the preamp off, and the bass is really what kind of adds a lot of the muddy frequencies to the signal on rectifiers. So I can actually roll the bass and the preamp off, roll the depth up, and it is incredibly tight. That was no boost. It's a little dry for me. We're gonna boost it, of course we're gonna boost it, but just straight out of the box, man, that sounds ridiculous. That sounds really, really good. I'm sitting beside the cabinet, so if it's a little bright on your end, sorry, but from where I am sitting, it sounds very, very evenly balanced. I'm super pumped. So let's see. I saw a lot of you guys saying that it sounds really, really good. I don't think it needs a boost. It's tighter than a nun's vag. That's cute. Low C, low E, no matter. Still got to do the thing. We can kick on the drop tune as well. But, dude, Yeah, dude, it's super tight and percussive. This is no boost. This is no boost whatsoever. Yeah, exactly, Joel. You know exactly what I'm talking about, man. That bass knob is very, very sensitive on pretty much any rectifier. But this sounds incredibly tight. I'm gonna message Fluff right now. We'll have him come in since I'm playing the amp. Maybe he's free and he can chat for a second. Give me just a second. He's busy. He's on tour, probably setting up. So don't be surprised if he doesn't show up. But yeah, I'm gonna turn I'm gonna turn this back down, and we're gonna try that again. I literally haven't played guitar in so long that I forgot how to play one of my own band songs. So that's a good sign, right? Haven't played in so long that you forget to play your own stuff. Yeah, this amp is the tightest rectifier I have ever played. By far and away, hands down. I am going through the 212 rectifier cab, which helps because these are a really tight cabinet. They're a bit on the undersized side when it comes to 212 cabs. But with that being said, the amp just sounds ridiculously tight. It sounds incredibly good. That out of the way, I saw somebody saying that this sounds nothing like a regular rectifier. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. The stock rectifier voicing is absolutely there, but it's tighter. It has more of the sub-low frequencies, I guess, but they're tight. That's the main difference. There is some clarity. There's a little bit more clarity in there too, so I'm not 100% sure what was done to the circuit. It is a little clearer, but in my opinion, the rectifier voicing is still there, which is a good thing because I like the rectifier voicing. It's just the low end that always kills me. So this thing sounds incredible. And this is just the vintage channel, guys. I haven't even gone to the red channel yet. This is technically where I usually tend to live on the rectifier amps. I like the vintage channel more. Sounds super, super tight. Super good. Yeah. Arthur says, it sounds killer. I agree, man. It sounds really, really good. Steven, how's it going, man? Thank you for the Happy New Amp Day wishes. I appreciate you guys. Thank you to everybody who has super chatted. Really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who's liked the video. If you haven't hit the like button again, please do so. Helps me out. Helps other people see the video and helps the channel grow. I thank you guys. There's zero flub. There's zero flub. Have you ever tried an exotic boost? No, I haven't. I know that those were really popular for a long time, but I haven't ever tried one. Yeah, some of the flubby low frequencies are definitely not there. Yeah, so what we're going to do... You're good, man. Brown's Parlor. Yeah, you're good. We're here hanging out. We're going to jam for a couple more minutes. I'm going to go down to Drop C real quick on this vintage channel, and then we'll check out the red channel briefly, and then we'll probably wrap it up because this stream is really, really long. But for everybody who has been hanging out this entire time, we've had like 150 viewers for at least the last 45 minutes. That's rad. That's a really good stream. So thank you guys for hanging out. Yeah, let's go down to Drop C. We're going to start in D and then tune down to C. Guys, the amp sounds absolutely ridiculous. All Pedal is in the house. Everybody say what's up to All Pedal. I would imagine that it's my homie Patrick. So if that's you, Patrick, what's going on, dude? Yeah, so this amp has had the fluff mods done. I don't know if there's an official name. I'm actually going to reach out to Kyle at KSR after this video's over and see if there's an official name for these modifications before I do a video on this amp, because this thing sounds incredible. And I have a feeling that a lot of people are probably going to want to have these mods done. If you haven't already seen Fluff's video on the modifications, whatever Kyle did to the amp, yeah, this is the tightest, by far and away the tightest rectifier I've ever played. So, yeah, it sounds really, really good. Let's go over to the red channel real quick. I haven't touched the red channel yet. Alright, so we are on the red channel. I'm going to start everything at noon again. I'm going to pull the gain back a little bit. Bass up. Presence in the middle. We're going to start with the master lower. I'm going to dial it in for a quick second before I turn my vocal mic off again, so it's probably going to be a little bit blown out. And now apparently the Buxom Boost doesn't want to turn off. Okay. I'm just a weak person. I've got weak fingers. So, yeah. We're going to take the drop off. right, so that very much sounds like the red channel of a regular rectifier, but again, way, way tighter. The low end is just way tighter. It's pretty dry. I'm actually kind of surprised. It doesn't seem to have as much gain as I remember the red channel having, but maybe that's kind of how they cleaned it up a little bit. I think the blue sounds better, more life and dynamics to it. Blue? I don't know what you're talking about. You mean the orange? Cool. I'm glad that you guys... I'm going to do a dedicated video on the amp, but I just figured I'd fire it up for everybody who sat through the whole thing. Yeah, it does sound good. I'm going to go ahead and put on a boost, because I like boosts, so... Alright guys, I think I'm going to wrap this stream up. This has been almost 2 hours non-stop. Let's get that volume up on the mic. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. This amp is incredible. This amp is going to human animal practice with me tonight. I literally cannot wait to use this in a band context. It sounds so freaking good. Yeah. I'm super glad that I bought this. The dude who sold it to me on Rig Talk gave me a really fair price, and I can pretty much tell you right now, this is the tightest, probably the best sounding rectifier that I have played and it's pretty much fixed all the issues that I have with rectifiers in general. The mid knob definitely seems more responsive to me. It seems like there's more mids overall, and it seems like there's a little bit more high mid aggression. Really, really tight, punchy on the low end. Yeah, man. Even the red channel. I don't typically like the red channel. The red channel sounds incredible. So, super glad I bought this. If, yeah. I was going to say if you guys want to see a full demo, but, I mean, that's stupid. I'm going to do a demo regardless. I'm sure that you guys want to see it. I've not seen one bad comment about what they're hearing in the chat. It seems like everybody's really digging this thing, so very cool. That was a fun day. Thank you guys for hanging out. I really enjoyed that. Thank you to everybody who super chatted. We got 173 likes on this stream. That is incredible. Thank you guys so much, everybody who has hit that like button. Everybody who has hung out for this entire thing. We've had over 100 viewers for like an hour and a half. It's insane. You guys are rad. Thank you. I'm going to sign out for the day. Let me know what you guys thought about the amp tone in the comments after this video is done. And appreciate you guys. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for making this such a fun job for me. I truly feel like I'm having fun with this again, and I'm glad to be feeling like that. So, yeah. Till next time. Till tomorrow. I got a video coming up tomorrow, so make sure to catch that. It's about important changes that are going to be happening on the channel soon, so you're probably going to want to see it. But, yeah. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I'm out of here. Thanks, Andy.